in 2019, actually so much of the work, how this developed was 2019 made the discoveries, this thing is not working, the solar fridge keeps on failing down, should we take it, should we give them another, like how do you even run an organization when we just even can't keep up with all the challenges that are happening. So in 2019, I got the idea that maybe I should actually manufacture solar refrigerators locally here. So the country went into lockdown early 2020. Yes, early 2020. And I remember in Feb 2020, I was supposed to travel to the UK, my first international travel. Yes, I was a finalist for a program called Booking.com Technology Playmaker Award. I'd actually submitted to them the concept that I'm building a portable solar fridge, and they were so excited about it, and I was a finalist. So we were supposed to travel to the UK to pitch and then to win an award. Then, oh my God, after booking my flight ticket 3 days later, the country was put on a lockdown. Actually, UK was the first to say, we are not receiving flights, nobody can come into the country. Then Kenya was like, yeah, we have to also follow suit. Like, things just happened so fast. And I never really got to travel to the UK to attend, or rather pitch at the Technology Playmaker Award. Everything was done virtually. I didn't win, but then actually it just made me realize, oh my God, the solutions and the ideas that I have are actually award winning, and I should possibly pursue them. So while this was happening, also we were part of a program called Rest for Africa, Microgrid Academy, what's it called? Youth Challenge, Youth of the Year, our Youth Challenge of the Year. I again submitted the concept, the drawings of the first portable solar pump, told them that, solar refrigerator, telling them that I want to develop this solution and provide it to farmers. And we went through a bit of a boot camp before they selected the winners. And I remember one of the professors there, he's called Professor Micangeli, he's Italian, told me that, okay, Norah, I know you're building a solar refrigerator, a portable solar refrigerator for farmers, but think of this. When the COVID era, Italy was really worst hit by COVID. Well, really badly hit. One of the countries that were just badly hit. With the COVID era, come to think of it, farmers might actually not survive to use your fridge because they won't survive COVID at all. Is it possible to actually pivot your solution into using it to deliver vaccines? I was like, okay, fine. That's obviously something worth trying. But then, if you guys will actually support us and give us the technical capacity to do it, they will actually do it. Now, I needed to hold that thought there because there's something I missed telling you that's happened earlier. So, I had mentioned that I used to live in Nairobi. Then I moved to Makindo, and I got married and had my child. So when I had my daughter, Isabel, in 2018, I gave birth to her in January 2018, and I was fully living in Makindo. I really faced challenges trying to get her vaccinated because the first year of the child's life, there are a series of vaccines. And some of the clinics that I actually went to that were offering the vaccines for free, because the privates were actually charging, most of the time they didn't have the vaccines. They'll tell me go to another clinic. Or the stock that they had, they are not so sure about it, they have to discard it. Actually, they have discarded it. Or they just don't stock that particular vaccine anymore because it has so much sensitivity to cold chain. To me, as my personal journey, that was the first time I actually interacted with issues when it comes to power blackouts. All this will happen because of blackout issues. Because the clinic will be like having a blackout of one day or 2 days, the fridge is not working, or they have a cold box, something went wrong, they couldn't keep the ice packs cold, and now they just don't have vaccine. So that was one of the first points that I interacted with personally. With energy challenges that was impacting my motherhood, because then it meant that my child was actually at the risk of not getting vaccinated. And it really bothered me how, when I was living in Nairobi, it was always a no-brainer. If I had to go get a jab or go get whether it's yellow fever or whatever it is that I need to get, it was a no-brainer. It was always available. But because I live here where there's frequent blackouts, it's Ushago, the vaccines are not always that guaranteed. And it bothered me again, like simple solutions, refrigeration, just not available where the most needed. And it still ties back to the statistics of all those millions of Africans who are lacking energy access and at risk of one or two challenges. And also just, I became part of the statistics. That really bothered me. So when throwing it back, when I'm being told, actually COVID is happening, and this mentor is actually telling me that, Norah, think about studying vaccines. And that looking back at my challenges at a mom, I knew really this is something that we had to fix. COVID is here. We have a concept. When we agreed that we're actually going to pivot our idea, actually, I think possibly one of the reasons why we got accepted into Young Talent of the Year by the Microgrid Academy, Rest for Africa program. And they gave us a grant of 5,000 USD to develop the first MVP of this portable refrigerator that was essentially milk for farmers, but now is actually going to be used to store vaccines. So I think that was also another pivotal point for me for Drop Access, because then it meant we had gotten our first funding and we had to now go develop this portable solar fridge.
Wow.
Yes. Need a break.
Okay, so that's the Vaccibox now.
Yes, that's the Vaccibox.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where? The famous Vaccibox. So now, known why? It's a solar fridge. So it can go anywhere, even Northeastern and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Currently my team is in Garissa.
Yeah.
They are doing a lot of capacity development and also just activation, because, well, Garissa is an ASOL area. They have quite a lot of challenges when it comes to just keeping items cool. And we want to ensure that we actually be able to provide Vaccibox in Garissa County for use in healthcare facilities, for use with farmers and so forth.
Yeah. Okay, so Norah, I want to come to the Vaccibox.
Yes.
How did Vaccibox, you like taking that idea and it's profound?
Yes.
How you just like listen to somebody critiquing your idea and just improved on it.
Yeah.
Tell us about the journey of Vaccibox, how you started, and like now we already know the professor inspired you.
Yeah.
So from there, what happened? What steps did you take with Vaccibox?
All right, so we won the Young Talent of the Year award of a grant of 5,000 euros to actually do the first minimal viable product, the first prototype, to test whether we can actually build a portable portable refrigerator that was designed for milk, but now is going to be used to store vaccines because we're in the COVID period. And Rachel, I think once again, my life just started once more in a whole new dimension. So on paper, it made sense because as an engineer, I understand refrigeration. So we drew it as per what we learned from our findings. We knew these are the parts we could actually assemble and put it together. But when it came to actually building that prototype, Rachel, I have never seen longer days that I did. It was so hard. We didn't know which material to use because there is a very big difference between theory and practical. So we had to now start doing so much research. What's the body going to be? What grade of stainless steel is it going to be? How are we going to bend it? Why are we going to bend it? What are we going to use for insulation? What's used for insulation? Like, it was a whole journey of discovery, trying to figure out like how do we build this prototype given the grant that we have. And
sorry, how long did it take you to do the prototype?
1 year.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe you can paraphrase it to me.
it actually took me 1 year. And I remember the team started growing in. I included more people because I needed somebody who understood solar in the nitty-gritty and integrating it with technologies like compressor and refrigeration. Then also I needed somebody who could do a computer-aided design, the AutoCAD design, to just put it in the computer, then translate it into a machine that could actually cut the metal. Then also, it literally just took a year to bring the first prototype into the market. And I remember by the end of 2022, we actually had 3 Vaccibox units. The first one that was built, then we were testing it, then we thought, okay, fine, now we have extra material, we have all this metal we've cut, let's build 2 more. And now we had like 3 Vaccibox units, and they were so problematic. They would cool on the outside instead of the inside. They would fail. The battery, we realized, was not the best battery to use. The insulation was too thin. It was just a whole journey of discovery, and we had actually committed to Rest for Africa that we're going to do this. So they kept on asking us. It was an 8-month program, and they kept on asking us, "Are you done? No, we need more time. Are you done? No, we need more time. Are you done? No, we've shelved it because it can't be done." And they will. It was just an emotional roller coaster. I know refrigeration can work. I know it's needed now more than ever because of COVID. We have the grant, but we can't get the product, because I came to realize that Kenya does not have such a well-defined infrastructure to be able to bring a product to fruition. We built a lot of things from scratch. We built the design from scratch. We built the team from scratch. We had to figure out like who's going to cut the metal, all ourselves from scratch. Like you don't go to a list of a directory to see, oh, who can actually cut this stainless steel and cut it in the design that you want it, to the precision that you want it. All this was built from scratch, and most of the time we actually gave up because I'd shelved the idea because it just was too hard. And to me, it was taking such a toll on me because I'm so passionate about engineering. I know the concept works, but then building it to fruition just couldn't work. So it took us a whole year to bring 3 units. And these 3 units were so problematic. They would cool on the outside. We do repairs, change insulation, pull it apart, put it back together. That by the time these fridges actually were working well, that was in 2021, and they were actually rugged because they'd been beaten so much, pulled apart, and they had so many dents on them. But we decided, as part of the grant agreement, we committed to piloting 3 Vaccibox units in the market. So we have to find out which healthcare facilities we're actually going to pilot them. So we were able to patch out and get the minimal viable product, pretty much a fridge that cools on the inside and could keep charge for like a few hours. So by 2021, when we were able to build Vaccibox, the 3 units of Vaccibox that could actually cool on the inside and keep the battery charge for like a few hours, we had committed to pilot these 3 Vaccibox units with 3 healthcare facilities in Kenya. So one of the first facilities that we piloted was called Usugu Dispensary in Makueni County, just 20 kilometers from Makido town. And Usugu is situated like literally end of the road. After Usugu, there is like a small forest, a river, then in Kitui County. So there is no electricity at all. Then the other facility was in Kajiado County. It's called Merueshi. And Merueshi is based in Maasai Conservancy. So we wanted to test out how a portable fridge actually works well to provide vaccination, door-to-door, Manyata-to-Manyata vaccination. And they're so graceful with us. They allowed us to come to their communities to actually test out Vaccibox. But then when we took out the 2 Vaccibox units to Usugu and Merueshi, they were so scared. First of all, it had been built in Kenya. The fridge looked so rugged. Some of them were actually asking us, like, is it going to explode? Is it going to electrocute me? It's an electrical gadget. So the first time we told them, okay, fine, just let it stay there. Let it stay overnight, switch it on. If by tomorrow morning it hasn't exploded, then well and good. Even as we're crossing our face, like, oh my God, now that they brought up explosion, will it actually explode? Then the next morning, the fridge was actually working when the scent came up. Then the next day we told them, okay, store water, or store your food. Just test out the concept of refrigeration. And each and every single day would record like, oh, it worked for this X number of hours, or they were able to store water. So now we're doing real-time field testing with third party on how our fridges worked. I think the results on the excitement that I finally started seeing in these nurses for these healthcare facilities just told me that, Norah, this is it. This is something that needs to be pursued. This is something that needs to be developed better. This fridge is not the best that it can be. Now, Vaccibox is not the best that it can be, but it can be made better. And it can actually be a one-of-a-kind solution coming from Kenya that is truly fixing a very huge deal. It's a very huge need in Kenya. So we did a design iteration in 2021. We did a design iteration to just make the fridge work better, because we made 3 units and retained 1 in the workshop. The workshop was based in Makido. We did a design iteration, and we were actually able, sometime in 2021, to store and transport COVID-19 vaccine in Kajiado County within a Maasai Conservancy. When we started telling people that, hey, guys, we've built a Vaccibox. It's a portable solar fridge. It's working. It's being used here and there. It got a lot of interest. And some people are like, we want to fund you.
Sound?
Pardon?
What for sound?
Okay.
Can continue.
Yes.
Vaccibox got a lot of interest. people started saying like, oh my God, these Kenyans have actually built a fridge in Kenya that is being used to transport vaccines, and it got a lot of media attention. I remember there's a media company that covered our story before, just to try and basically frame that there's engineering that is coming out of Africa thanks to COVID. And I think that also propelled us a bit, because then it just became out there publicly that there's this solution that is being used in Kenya that is being used to transport and store vaccines. And so many investors and funders started reaching out to us just to understand them a bit, and also try to see ways of how they can support us. And one of the investors told us like, okay, fine, Norah, I love the concept that you're doing, but you're doing it within an NGO. So is it possible for you to spin out Vaccibox into a limited company that operates as a social enterprise, so that I actually put money in it? And that's how we did a spin-off. So now we had the Drop Access NGO that started the concept of Vaccibox, and we slowly registered a limited company. It's called Drop Access Limited, that now solely is responsible for R&D and production of Vaccibox. So Drop Access Limited is a social enterprise.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So take us back to where you are. Now you've gotten this successful.
Yes.
Yes. So what's the journey towards where we are now?
So Vaccibox has undergone so many design iterations. Issues when it comes to cooling, it will only cool for 4 hours. Now the fridge, we took it the next step to the point where it was able to cool for 24 hours. And now the fridge is actually able to stay cool for 36 hours. Like, it's been a journey of design iteration, yes. We've actually integrated IoT solution in the fridge. It's a smart fridge now. Wherever it goes, it's able to record temperature, location, the stock inside the fridge, who is having the fridge, where is it, which part of Kenya the fridge is at. And we introduced the digital aspect in the fridge, because the nurses will tell us, okay, fine, I'm keeping my items cold in this Vaccibox, but when I'm in the other room, I like to know what temperature the fridge is at. Is there a way you can actually can I know on my phone?